Shalom. All praises, glory, and honor unto Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah HaKodash. Double honors unto the apostles and the bishops and the elders of Great Millstone that rule well through the scriptures. Peace to the 144,000 and the rest of the hopeful elect. I am the brother Chaya from GMS Indianapolis, the branch of Indiana, the original Gary campus, GMS Will Not Tarry 2. And I just want to get my spiritual 2 cents on, this video from Elder Yashawamba. You see the title, this is the result of following foolish men. Now, if you can see on screen, the video that he did, as well as the video Elder Manatazakba did, South Carolina, was talking about this particular individual. I guess his channel is I Am God. He went live. He was a former Great Millstone member of the Baton Rouge camp. I don't know him personally. I never met him. But at one point he taught the truth, and then he started teaching with the ex-head of Mississippi and those guys, that whole New Covenant deal. But in this video, he spoke about himself being God, and he Adam, and just real bugged out, okay? Real bugged out, all right? But it made me think of a couple scriptures. The first scripture it made me think of was the scriptures in which Yahushua spoke about those 7 demons. And I'm doing it in transit, by the way, all right? When you read the account, basically, when you're not in the truth, you got a demon on you. And whatever your vice is, because demons operate through our vices, all right? Temptations, things we haven't conquered, things that we like, or that we've been conditioned and fashioned to like, that's not right, okay? And when you come in the truth, you recognize that's an issue, and now that's something that you battle. You might not conquer it right away, all right, but that's something that now you in the fight, now you in the race. You didn't even know it was a fight going on. You didn't even know it was a race going on, and now you know, and now you can do something about it, all right? But if you don't, and it made me think of the quote for the title. Those 7 demons are waiting around the corner, because once you recognize that folly within yourself, and you go to combat it, and you go to fight it, hey, the demons want a host to inhabit, all right? They want to execute their function, okay? The Lord, Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai, what did he say? I create the light and I form the darkness. I create good and I create evil. All these things come from me. So he created angels on the right-hand side, which have an office, and he created angels on the left-hand side, which have an office, which we call demons, all right? When you read Psalms, it speaks about wicked angels, right? Now, what is it talking about? That their whole purpose is to execute the left hand, all right, which is evil. And then you got what the book of Sirach says, what their spirits created for vengeance, all right. And these spirits that the Lord created, they want to serve their purpose, all right. So the back to the scripture says, when an unclean spirit leaveth the man, all right. And how do an unclean spirit leave you? The scripture says, wherewithal do a young man cleanse his way? By the washing of the word. So now this word get on you and in you. And two opposing forces can't dwell in the same vessel. So the unclean spirit leave, all right. But you leave the door cracked by not conquering yourself, by not dying daily, by being open-minded. Like the scripture says, sensual are they. Yeah, sensual mean open-minded. We ain't open-minded, all right? We only open to the truth, all right? So now your ass open-minded, all right? Reading every goddamn thing. The scriptures is enough, all right? And that's what these guys did. They went into a lot of esoteric occultism, all right? When you really deal with what he was saying in this video, This ain't nothing but Albert Pike, Aleister Crowley. He said he Megatron, right? Not Megatron, pardon me. Metatron. Well, when you deal with that, Metatron is supposed to be some sort of spirit, all right? Likened unto Jesus, they say, all right? But it's supposed to be some sort of enlightening spirit. But what does the Bible say? They say if there be another, if there be one to come unto you preaching another Yahushua, let him be accursed. So Metatron is another Yahushua. And that's what this guy was saying. Okay? What he was going into, just like the scripture says, what is it? Just like the scripture says, it says, they shall give heed to seducing spirits and doctrines of devils. See, everybody want to be on something. Everybody, oh, y'all ain't up on this. Nigga, that's the, and then when you find out the origin of the shit, man, that shit came from a devil. Who is the devil? Esau, Edom. You niggas giving heed to the doctrines of the devil. You niggas ain't fucking up on nothing. The scripture says, rid me of wicked men whose right hand is a right hand of falsehood. That's their right hand. That bullshit. Metatron and that doest thou wilt and the highest man is God. God is man. Ain't that shit. I mean, you ain't up on fucking nothing, bro. But when you go back to that scripture, right? In Matthew it says, right? When the unclean spirit leaveth the man, he goeth out searching. Oh my God. He goeth out searching, somewhere to inhabit. All right. So he don't find nowhere. So he go back to his original host, but he brings 7 more spirits more wicked than him. Cause he ain't trying to get kicked out again. He like, look, I'm trying to take over. I don't want to get kicked out no more. Let me get some stronger spirits so we can inhabit this guy and execute the left hand through him. All right? And the scripture says the end of that man is more worse than the first. Now whatever vices you had before and whatever wickedness you was a part of before, now you compiling upon it, right? Now you adding to it. There's another guy, all right? Now I knew this guy personally, a former member of Chicago, all right? Brother Al-Izar, all right? Apostle Ramla brought him into the camp personally. I was there, all right? Big dude, strong dude, humble dude. All the signs of sincerity, Didn't see no pride or arrogancy in him. Lovable, everybody liked him. Right? But see, the scripture speaks about the Lord can change your heart, man. Remember what happened to Saul? Samuel told him, he said, go over here. And the Lord you're gonna see a company of prophets. They're gonna be playing the decibel, the psaltery, right? And when you see them, your heart gonna be changed into another meaning. You're gonna become somebody. You're gonna be different. You're gonna become a new person. You're gonna be new in Yahweh Ba'Shem Yahushai. But what does it say as you carry on with the story of Saul? It says, then the spirit of the Lord departed from Saul, and the evil spirit troubled him. So, you see? So, a spirit gonna deal with you. You ain't just gonna be out here fucking free. The spirit is either gonna be the spirit of the Lord or the spirit of the devil. And that's just that. All right? So the Lord could have took his spirit off that guy, or, that's what it appears to be. Some guys just faking the funk, or half fake the funk. All right, they might have just saw that. You know what? Because in the world, Jake is a piece of shit oftentimes. and a particular individual might not be your a nigger totally. So he find some genuine guys, reliable guys, see the camaraderie, and be beholden to that. But the truth is the glue. That's the catalyst of this brotherhood. The truth. Right? What did Yahweh say? Sanctify them through thy truth. Thy word is truth. They there for the chicken and the liquor, but they ain't there for the lessons and the sit downs and the breaking of bread. All right. But anyway, there's a scripture in Psalms which speaks about King David said, "My sins are ever before me." All right. Now, I take that as, and I'm not preaching my own doctrine, but remember what the Lord delivered you from, because them 7 demons are around the corner. All right? Now, you don't dwell on the shit that you did, be all moping around. It's in the past. We hoping to be forgiven of that. As it stands, look, the scripture says continue. All right? Romans 8 says, who can lay charge to the elect? It is the Most High that justified. These people can't fucking say nothing about us. Yeah, when you knew me before I was in this truth, when I was in the world, yeah, I was robbing, stealing, selling drugs, killing, committing adultery. I'm sorry for that, right? But I'm hoping to be forgiven of that. That's why I've changed. That's the mindset of the elect. But we remember that damn, we did those things to keep our focus even more sharp. All right. Well, what it say? Let not your sins weigh you down. We don't let it weigh us down. But also, you remember it to do what? To let not your iniquities lift up themselves. Look, enough is enough. Like what the scripture says. Is it Thessalonians? It says, it speaks about something to the effect of that. Let the stuff we was doing in the world be sufficient. All right, let it be enough. All right, I'm at a light now. Maybe I can try to find it. All right. Well, it's green, so I'm about to make a stop soon. If I'm still doing it, I'll try to find it. But yeah, it's a scripture in Thessalonians be like, all right, let it, like the shit we was doing in the world. All right, enough is enough. All right. The scripture speaks about the Lord winked at our ignorance when we know no better. But yeah, but back to that brother, the one who I know personally, Allah Izar, all right, which is Allah, power, God, Izar is help, or the Most High is my help, all right? Anyway, Jake doing drugs, Jake doing cocaine and shit, publicly announcing it, like, bro, but you know what this does when we see these different things, that's a healthy dose of fear. All right, that's a healthy dose of fear to trim your lap more and more and more. Like, we trying to be, you want your garment to be white, right? So you making sure your garment is stain free. You got the OxyClean, you got the bleach, you got the club soda. You don't want to be caught out here with a big ass ink blot on your garment, which your garment represents righteousness. You don't want to be caught out here with a big ass ink blot, all right, on your white garment when Yahweh shall return. Okay? But anyway, that's all I had to say. I guess I'll put the scripture I was thinking of in the description box. Lord willing, this was an edifying lesson to the hopeful elect. All praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'asham, Yahushai, Ba'ashem, Rakah, Kodash, Shalom.